Welcome to NEA Report tonight, and the rundown looks like this. Murder in Truman. One person is dead. Another person is in custody after a tragedy began to unfold late last night. What happened, and how did it result in the death of a local man in front of his daughter? Walnut Ridge fiasco. It continues today with several different elements of the story breaking. First, exclusive on NEA Report, a city official walking back statements made last week. You're going to want to stay tuned for this. Plus, the mayor officially confirms that the officers are on leave, but nothing else. And other police from across NEA are reacting. How do they feel about this? In fact, if you have a problem with law enforcement doing this kind of situation, you're not the only ones. It's other law enforcement officers that are speaking out, and that's all next on NEA Report. A standoff late last night that almost lasted into the early morning hours ended. Unfortunately, one person was killed in the tragedy that took place, and now we're learning names of those involved. Gabriel Urabezo, 22, is facing a first-degree murder charge for allegedly murdering Robert Heifel, 35, of Truman at the Truman Walmart location last night. The man, Heifel, a father, his daughter reportedly there as the entire incident took place. Police Chief Chad Hinson giving us the information on NEA Report and telling us that at 9:16 p.m. last night the incident began to unfold. That's when police were called to the scene about a man at Walmart with a gun. They arrived at 9:23, just a short time later, and that's when they watched two officers as they were trying to talk a man down who held a woman with a gun to her head. The officers were trying to talk him down. At that time, the report is from the police chief that Heifel was trying to intervene. He had a heroic attempt, but it was a tragedy that resulted. Heifel was killed in a struggle. The female was released after being held at gunpoint, as mentioned, a short time later. From this Walmart location, this is a photo I took of the scene after the fact. You can even see one of the vehicles on the right of the screen there being removed from the Walmart location out by the highway. For approximately 90 minutes, police from all over northeast Arkansas converged onto the town with a population of about 8,000. And for the next 90 minutes, a tense standoff situation ensued as officers in tactical gear surrounded the Walmart location. But the suspect was taken into custody, eventually surrendering himself without further incident, although the tragedy had already gone far too bad. No names were released this morning, but as we mentioned, we do have those names now, and we'll show those to you just one more time. Gabriel Urabezo, 22. He's the gentleman on the screen right there on your right, and then he is said to have allegedly killed Robert Heifel, 35, of Truman. The woman that had a gun held to her head, her name was released as well. It's on other news outlets. I don't want to put that name out there just simply because I can't imagine what she's already went through. But to imagine how many departments responded is hard to picture, because Arkansas State Police, Jonesboro Police, Craighead County Sheriff's Office, Game and Fish, Bay, Brooklyn, Poinsett County, and even members of the FBI were on the scene early this morning. Coming up in the second half of the show, we'll let you hear from Police Chief Chad Hinson in an interview we recorded earlier today. Many of you have been watching NEA Report over the past week for our intense coverage of the situation in Walnut Ridge. That continues right now. We're following this situation as a statement has been issued today from the Walnut Ridge City Attorney exclusively to NEA Report. And that statement walked back her comment calling it a nuisance lawsuit at the Walnut Ridge City Council meeting 1 week ago. City Attorney Nancy Hall sent this statement and sent it exclusively to NEA Report today, stating that, quote, regarding the pending litigation of Finley v. the City of Walnut Ridge, I wish to clarify a statement as made on April 16th at the City Council meeting, she said. The approach taken is one I regret, as it does not accurately reflect my position professionally or personally. Hall said, as city attorney, my job duties are defined by the city council. That's a very important statement. My involvement with the city police is limited to matters concerning code violations or statutory inconsistencies. I do not have any involvement with citations, criminal investigations, or interpretations of criminal law for the city. My knowledge of the facts in this matter are very limited, she said. She goes on to say, for this reason alone, in retrospect, I feel the best comment I could have made at Monday night's meeting was no comment whatsoever. Silence would have been more in line with my core beliefs that all parties in litigation must be given the opportunity to be heard, and all tribunals should be impartial. The videos released to the public, she said, are obviously emotionally charged and have created a great division both inside and outside our small town. Adversity is rarely pleasant. Nancy Hall said, it is my personal hope that the adversity currently being experienced in Walnut Ridge will somehow lead to positive results. I hope we all have. The defendants in the pending suit have representation with the Arkansas Municipal League in Little Rock, and the attorney in charge of the matter will be responsible for commenting on the case. For this reason, I've been asked to not comment any further on actual litigation, she said. And she went on to conclude the comment by saying that I will follow this directive. The city attorney's statement comes in response to the quote that we ran from her and the Jonesboro Sun ran 1 week ago when she called the lawsuit a nuisance lawsuit. It's clear her comment has walked that back, and it's good to see that city officials in Walnut Ridge are realizing the gravity of the situation. Over the weekend, the page views for this story were through the roof, almost record-setting. In some cases, we saw the video had over 1 million views. Over 1 million, and that's just on one outlet. The NEA report YouTube video itself was viewed, just one of the videos viewed over 85,000 times as we last checked. We've also learned in the story, as we continue to follow it intensely, that the Walnut Ridge police chief and officer are on leave. Now, we told you that last Friday. We told you that what we learned was that they had been, according to 3 anonymous sources, suspended. As far as that goes, I still don't have confirmation if that's correct, if that's accurate, or if that's inaccurate, but I can confirm that they are on administrative leave officially, because that statement was confirmed by the city clerk, Chief Hinson, who said that Walnut Ridge Mayor Charles Snapp placed Police Chief Chris Kirksey and Sergeant Matt Cook on administrative leave around noon on Friday, April 20th. It doesn't say whether that was paid administrative leave. My anonymous sources tell me that's what it was. It says for additional comments, please contact the Arkansas Municipal League. Just want to mention that this is a confirmation that they are not at the department as of right now. We don't know if they were suspended. However, we did get a little more information today. According to sources, as I mentioned, it's paid administrative leave. But a well-placed source says it was not a suspension, but rather a decision made, quote, for the officer's safety, due to the public backlash that was being received over the tape that we showed on NEA report and the tape that showed the cover-up by the police chief. And notice I'm not using the word allegedly because it's seen on video clearly what took place. I've showed it so many times that if I start showing it again, I'm going to probably get mad and do another rant on the show today. We say allegedly when that allegation's been made, when there's no proof of guilt. In this case, I'll testify to it. I saw what happened. The Walnut Ridge police chief cited Burlington Northern Santa Fe worker Adam Finley after he came to Walnut Ridge Police Department on December 26, 2016, to complain about his unlawful detainment by Officer Mercado. So Kirksey didn't like the guy doing that. He calls Deputy Prosecutor Ryan Cooper, and Cooper, by the way, was reportedly, I've learned, on vacation at the time. He's on vacation last week, too. Does this guy work? So he was apparently on vacation, thankfully had his cell phone with him, and the police chief was able to get in touch with Cooper. And Cooper ordered the police chief to cite the man that was making complaints on an officer for police brutality. Deputy Prosecutor Cooper ordered the tickets, but he's not had one statement to make all week long. Nothing. He will not respond to the media, this guy. It's been 6 days since NEA report has been reaching out to him, and we've not gotten any response. He works for your tax dollars. He doesn't work for me. He doesn't work for a private company. I'm not harassing somebody that's working for that matter, I'm not harassing anybody. But I'm not most certainly harassing someone that works in the private sector. This guy's employed by you to do things for you, and he's not doing them. For instance, communicating to the media why he's prosecuting people for writing complaints on police. You would think that's something important to somebody that cares about justice, especially with an email signature like his. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to Friday's show. It's not his job to protect bad cops. It's his job to pursue justice in the community. But here's something strange about all of this. He doesn't actually answer to Henry Boyce regarding this prosecution. He answers to the city council due to this being a misdemeanor offense. Let me explain. It's going to get a little confusing here. It's confused me. Most cities have a prosecuting attorney, a city-level prosecutor, to prosecute misdemeanors. Pocahontas has that. For example, I think it's Alex Bigger and Joe Grider, I believe, or prosecutor, deputy prosecutor. Somebody will probably correct me on that. But anyway, for instance, in Jonesboro, it would be the city attorney, Carol Duncan, and her deputies. Walnut Ridge, obviously, small town. It contracted the position out. It contracted it to who just so happened to be the 3rd Judicial District Deputy Prosecutor, Ryan Cooper. Cooper prosecutes now felonies and misdemeanors for Lawrence County. It's on his workload. But for Boyce to issue a statement regarding that particular prosecution was a surprise to many of us. I talked to the Jonesboro Sun editor over the weekend. It blew his mind. It blew the mind of the news director at the CBS station. It blew many of my legal friends' minds. We did not understand that. Okay? And from this side of the camera, I don't know how else to communicate that with you other than to say we were all shocked. Why did he defend that, we said? He didn't have to defend that. We all thought it was a bad defense. We thought it was political suicide. But then we see that he comes out and defends something that is not even prosecuted really by his office. Cooper answers to the Walnut Ridge City Council in regards to this case. And so let's continue showing you some stuff and telling you about other people that have comments about this case. Because I know, and I'm watching the chat, I know a lot of folks out there are super concerned by this. And some of those folks that are super concerned aren't just the citizens. The police are mad across NEA, everybody. And I want you to know that because I'm mad too. I've seen the video. It's infuriating. It makes me furious to see it. But it's the police across Northeast Arkansas that have spoken to me over the last several days and told me, dude, this is bad. And I get it. And so after a couple of conversations with some friends this weekend, I wanted to communicate something clearly because we have covered on NEA Report police activity, crimes, police video, and whatnot for several years now. And as far as a video like this, I have never seen anything like it, right? I don't know that this is something that, as far as to this degree that any other reporter around here has seen on camera. It doesn't mean it doesn't happen, but in the greatest sense of the term, the police are very put off by this. Not one officer and not one mayor that I was able to talk to over the last several days justified the video where the officer was raging and throwing the guy around and yelling at him and cussing him. But they've not justified the fact that the cops wrote the dude a ticket for coming in to write a complaint either. Stomach turning. I had several officers contact me and want to go fight these guys, right? That's from police. So it's easy to understand why that the Walnut Ridge mayor may have had to place these guys on leave for their own safety. There may not have been a choice. If you've got police officers ready to show up to your office and fight you over something you just did. But I just wanted to point that out because for many police out there, this is hard to watch because they can't say anything publicly. Their departments don't want to create feuds across NEA with other departments. But they don't like this. And I would guess almost every single one of the police across the area could look at you and just tell you personally that it's wrong. They can't say a lot out loud right now. I get that. And no office or officers want to create departmental feuds going back and forth and start making statements on other offices. But I just want to throw that out there. Don't lose faith. Don't lose faith that justice is something that is pursued diligently by many professionals. I think we found, some bad apples, but I don't want you to think that the entire orchard is rotten. Okay, just wanted to, as I mentioned that, throw the quote at you one more time of a nearby area mayor telling me that he took the video to his police department, told the chief if it ever happened, something like this happened here, the officer and the chief would be fired. And they plan on using that video for training purposes now. So, it's, like I said, it's interesting to see how the response is from folks like that, too. Because I know a lot of people, especially going into the weekend, it was blind rage. Hey, I wasn't far from it. But even though we are most definitely going to hold truth to power and require those in authority to do what's right, there are many who already are. And I just want to mention that because I don't want everybody to think that NEA Report is suddenly an anti-authority establishment. NEA Report's about the truth. It's about the truth despite my personal friendships, my personal feelings, anything. This is about representing you, the people, and this is about if any of us had been in that car, been out doing our job, working on the railroad, how we would have felt in that situation, and how we would feel if there wasn't a media outlet that had this guy's back, right? Because that's very important. If you got to fight these battles alone, it feels like you versus the world, and it's depressing. Now, that's something I know personally. That is a feeling I don't want this guy to go through. And as I've mentioned before, if anybody can show me on those videos where he did something wrong, I want to find it. I want to know. 30 seconds or 20 seconds of muted audio where he's handing the guy his license and asking why he's been pulled over. Even if he said, why the hell? Or even if he said, why the F? Or something else. That's still not an excuse. And I'm not saying that. That actually came from a police officer who said, even if he said, what the F? That's still no excuse, the officer said. The officer said. I don't think he said that, by the way, because he wasn't being that way at any other point in the video. Walnut Ridge Mayor Charles Snapp is set to meet with the Municipal League tomorrow, or talk to them at the very least, according to information I've received. We believe following that a statement or a decision could be made. In fact, we've been told that that's the waiting point, so to speak, by Mayor Snapp, that we're all waiting to see when is he going to do something about this. You can, in some cases, as I put up a quote last week, silence can be deafening. Well, Mayor Snapp, we're going to find out, I think, tomorrow, what his decision on this is going to be and where he's going to go with this. Or we won't. We don't know. But information is that he will have a chance to speak to them, and so if he's saying he can't comment until he talks to them, tomorrow should be that point. We hope to find out more information about the case and the decisions and the faith that Charles Snapp has in his current police department, and his police chief, and his deputy prosecutor, Ryan Cooper. You can answer those questions unpertaining to this case and this lawsuit. And whenever your department violates the trust of the public, and not just one reporter, I'm just the voice. If you want to know how mad people are, look how many people are in the chat right now. When that trust gets violated, that's when you have to act. And if you don't act, you're compromising everything that you and everybody involved have done. All the work, all the growth, all the cases, all the future cases in the courts. If you don't know who to believe anymore, and you don't know who might be lying or deceiving or covering up for others, you call into question everything. You normalize conspiracies. When you don't know what to expect or who to trust, it's hard to call it a justice system.
What a great day it is in Craighead County. You know, we got a very important election coming up, May 22nd. You'll get to choose your new judge. I hope and pray that you look at the issues at hand. This is a very, very important election. This will be the first 4-year term for your county judge. We're facing many, many issues, from school safety to road safety to drainage. We have plans in place. I'm coming in with a strong team of people with boots on the ground. We're going to make this a better Craighead County. We're going to be open and transparent. This is your office. It's always going to be an open door policy. And you know, I'm happy to announce I've got a team of volunteers. It's going to be called the Craighead County Green Team. We're going to clean up the ditches and roadways in Craighead County. With the resources that we have on hand, you're not going to see illegal dump sites and things like that. We're going to be proactive. We're going to make this a better Craighead County. My name is Jeff Presley, and I approve this message.
Family Medical Clinic of Walnut Ridge and Bono are your neighborhood healthcare providers, and we're now accepting new patients. We know you have a tight schedule, so we're here 6 days a week at both locations from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Walk-ins are welcome. In Walnut Ridge, stop by 1045 West Main Street or call us to make an appointment, 886-8300. In Bono, we're on Highway 63 North or call 930-9990. Walnut Ridge Family Medical Clinic and Bono Family Medical Clinic, here for you when you need us.
Haley Norris, Realtor. No. Should I make my hair go like this? Whether you need to buy, sell, or lease. Haley, can I use my hands? Or is that, where are my hands? Where do they go?
Just
Haley.
Just like Haley.
Whether you need my expertise. Haley Norris, Realtor. Or even do a commercial lease. Haley Norris, Realtor. Should I say Remax Real Estate Center or no? Is that too salesy?
No, that's good.
My average days on market is just 50 days. You need my expertise, and that means I'm putting more money back in your pocket.
Accidents happen. So what happens if you bring your car or truck to Stadium Auto Body? It's in the hands of a manufacturer-certified expert who'll treat it with respect. It's brought back to life using the advanced tools and technologies today's vehicles require. All makes, all models. At Stadium Auto Body, we do the job right, back our work with a limited lifetime warranty, and make the whole experience pleasantly easy. Accidents happen. We're what happens next. Tell your insurance company you choose Stadium Auto Body.
Let's take a look now at your New Wave Wireless forecast, home of the $49 iPhone screen repair, coming at you live right now, 328 in Jonesboro and across northeast Arkansas. Showers possible tonight. A few chances for them do exist according to this New Wave 5-day forecast. Let's take a look at it now. And you can see you have temperatures in the 50s tonight, jumping up to 70 tomorrow. Going to be kind of a nice day, I think. I like the clouds, but it's still going to be cloudy tomorrow. Just heads up for you, though, your chance for showers tonight, just about a 30% shot at those. May see some before the evening rolls around with the afternoon, too. For Tuesday, a high near 70 and a low near 52. Wednesday, 50% chance for showers in the afternoon with a high near 68, but not a lot of rain expected. Thursday, mostly sunny with a high near 68 and a 20% chance of showers after 1 a.m. Friday, a 30% chance of showers before 1 p.m. with partly sunny skies. It looks like it's set to be a nice weekend with sunny skies on Saturday and Sunday and the highs in the 70-degree range, and time to spend some time out at Craighead Forest Park, perhaps, or somewhere else in your community. Right now, overcast skies in Jonesboro. Looks like it's about 55 degrees. Okay, 327 in Jonesboro right now, and want to let everybody, I think I said 328 a second ago, so if I skipped ahead a minute, apologies. It may have been 326. It's 327 right now, about to be 328. Glad to have you along with us. You know, we've been covering this stuff in Walnut Ridge over the past several days, and we will continue to cover it over the next several days as well. It's going to be full coverage here on any report pertaining to that. Obviously, the issue is very important to us. It's very important to many of those of you who are out there watching, and we want you to know that we're going to make sure nothing takes place in this case without us knowing about it and without you knowing about it through us. Okay. For those of you who joined us and missed it in the first part of the broadcast, I want to give you an update on a story we told you about last night. It's a tragic story that happened in Truman. If you're the praying type, there are some people there that are going to need you right now. We're talking about what happened in the Walmart location in Truman, where this man on the right of your screen is alleged to have killed a 35-year-old father in front of his daughter. How does that take place? The reports, the information that I have, the sources that I have tell me that this stuff was over a girl. And it's just not worth it, guys, or anybody out there. It's just not worth it to destroy families for this kind of stuff. We went to Walnut Ridge, Walnut Ridge is on the mind. We went last night to Truman in the early morning hours after midnight, early this morning, to head to that Walmart location. In fact, I've got the picture of it I took early, about 2 a.m. today. We went there this morning early, and by the time we arrived, the standoff had concluded. One person, as mentioned, was dead. The suspect in custody after about 90 minutes of negotiation. FBI, state police, everybody you can imagine in the world on the scene. And I was told crisis counselors will be and were at the school today as a little girl. Gosh, I can't imagine this. A little girl watched her dad get shot to death. Tragedy, folks. I want to take you back early this morning to when I had a chance to speak to the Truman Police Chief Chad Hinson. We talked to Truman Chief Chad Hinson, and he gave us a rundown of exactly what took place. Obviously, it was an awful situation, as I mentioned, and his officers grieving right now. I just want to send out my thoughts and condolences to the entire Truman Department, the community of Truman and Poinsett County. Right now, I want to give you a chance to hear. If you've not heard from him yet, let's listen in to Chief Chad Hinson about what took place today. There is breaking news on NEA Report at this hour. Stan Morris reporting behind the camera. In front of the camera is Police Chief Chad Hinson from the Truman Police Department. We're in Poinsett County right now, where over the last several hours, a tragedy began to unfold in Truman at the local Walmart. Chief Hinson taking a couple of minutes here over the late hours to join us and explain to us exactly what's going on. I know we've got a lot of folks that are getting ready to be joining us in chat. As they're getting in, Chief, thanks for taking a second. I know it's a difficult night for you. Can you just take us through how the tragedy began tonight and what happened?
It began for us when our department was notified that there may be a male inside the Walmart store with a weapon. We learned later on that there was a domestic situation that was possibly unfolding, and it was going to happen there at Walmart somewhere. When our officers arrived, they were confronted with a male and a female exiting the Walmart store, and our officers noticed that the male had a weapon in his hand. They tried to get him to drop the weapon, and they noticed another male coming into the scene from another direction. They tried to get him to stop and to return back to his vehicle. What they didn't know at the time was that male was possibly connected to the female that was being taken hostage, if you will. A short scuffle ensued, and the man that tried to intervene was shot and killed.
Oh, no.
He's a resident of Truman, and it happened in front of some young kids, and it happened in front of a bunch of citizens, and it happened in front of our two officers. So just at the very onset, our department's hurting, the community's hurting. It's just a terrible situation that is unusual for Truman, and we wish this didn't happen. But after the man was killed, our officers and officers with the Poinsett County Sheriff's Office, Game and Fish, Cricket County Sheriff's Office, Jonesboro Police Department, all tried to negotiate with the shooter for almost an hour and a half. He was able to be negotiated with, and he surrendered peacefully shortly afterwards, and we were able to take him into custody. What we're dealing with now is the crime scene, and we're dealing with several people that was inside Walmart, workers and people there to get their goods. What we're asking, what we need now, is if anybody witnessed this or saw this or recorded this on their phone, if they would contact the Truman Police Department, so we're able to talk to you and we're able to maybe get a copy of that video that's on your phone.
Now, a lot of people are joining us in chat, so just for those of you joining us, I saw one person that asked what happened. I'm going to tell you real fast. At 9:16 p.m. tonight, the Truman Police Department was contacted. It was in regards to a report of a man at Walmart with a gun. 9:23 tonight, I should say last night at this point, Sunday night, officers made contact with the suspect and with the situation at the Truman Walmart location. It's out on the highway, on the interstate it would be. A lot of people drive by it, probably a lot more drive by it than would stop in and go and shop there. But the parking lot tonight, full of police cruisers, has what was taking place was unfortunately fatal. You mentioned 2 officers had seen a member of the community killed tonight. When you're dealing with that level of a personal tragedy, how does it? I mean, does it affect you in the sense of, you know, what are you going to say to the officers?
Well, I just did, 30 minutes before you arrived here, I was having to tell one of the officers that I had been in your shoes because the question is now, well, why didn't you shoot the suspect? Yeah, we have to worry about, this guy was standing in the doorway of Walmart. This officer had to make the decision, could he shoot this person, and where would, if he missed, what would be the backdrop?
Right.
There's people coming in and out of those doors, so he had to make a decision, and
sure.
So just for our officers, they're going to have to see what they saw, be able to deal with it, and come to reckoning with that on their own.
Sure.
It is my position to try and help them and to counsel them, and I think that those guys both acted valiantly and very courageously. Again, they're hurting,
of course,
because of what they had to see.
But you guys have to respond to situations like this, and while you're having to perform a duty, at the same time, human beings are behind the badge, and
sure.
So, I mean, I can't imagine the range of emotions they have to be confronting. Obviously, you always say, "What could I have done to make this better?" But at the same time, there's only so much you can do in a situation like
that. Well,
I
think that they were able to. Is my opinion for them. I think they were able to save that lady tonight. If they weren't there at that door, if their response was just even a minute slower, maybe he would have put her in a car.
Wow.
So they got a call and they were there. So that's what I told them, is that I think you did well. For the young man that lost his life tonight, our heart bleeds for them just like it'd be one of our own. Yeah. But it happened in front of their kids, so.
I had a witness report of something similar. I was going to wait for you to get to that, but it sounded like the worst possible case of where a witness would view that.
Yeah.
You're going to obviously have notification processes going on. Will that be something that takes place today, the next of kin notifications?
Yeah, the area that we've already notified them, okay. But I'm still not going to release any names tonight.
I understand.
We have counselors at the school being set up for the kids, for them now and tomorrow, and for the days to come. If we've missed anything, we're going to re-second guess what we've done tonight. Make sure that everybody that needs something has got it. We've had chaplains come here to help with our officers and with the family. I know the Jonesboro Police Department chaplain reserves spoke with the family tonight, and they spoke with our officers, and they were tremendous help. And they'll stay in touch for the next coming days.
Is this going to have, for any particular reason you can or can't talk about, have an impact on the community and the school? You said. You said there would be counselors at the school.
Yeah. As far as for the children, if they attend school, there'll be counselors there.
Was the victim a teacher? Was he?
No.
Okay.
The children are going to school. The reason I mentioned them is we're trying to make sure that these kids that witness this are going to be covered.
Yeah. And this took place at 9. What are the hours of that Walmart location?
It's 24/7.
It's a 24/7. Okay. For those wondering, because many will watch after the facts, it's 9:16 p.m. that this was reported to have begun unfolding on a Sunday night. As the Truman Police Chief mentioned, small community. What's the population of Truman?
8,000.
So this is, you don't deal with situations like this even in larger communities, but a smaller community, when everybody knows each other, how hard is to make the aftermath of something? Is it even more challenging?
Yeah, it's always challenging when you have a place that's as populous as this, and as people just don't expect it to be a victim. And again, what happened tonight, the victim knew the suspect.
Yeah.
This wasn't just an isolated event where someone just entered into a Walmart and started shooting.
So it's a tragedy that's unfolded over the last 24 hours or so, a little bit less than that in Truman. We're live on NEA Report with you right now. That was earlier today that we spoke with the Truman Police Chief, Chief Hinson. We appreciate him for talking to us, obviously, in mourning as he was dealing with his men, his officers, having just witnessed the murder of someone in front of a child, in front of their own child. A tragedy there. We're thinking of everybody involved in Poinsett County and in Truman. We're going to continue following that. We'll let you know the very latest on that as news breaks. In the video, we didn't have the names. If you want to watch the full interview, there's some of it left. I posted it earlier today, and it's also at NEAReport.com. We didn't have the names. We do have them now. It's Gabriel Irabezo, 22, facing a first-degree murder charge, allegedly for killing Robert Heifel, 35, of Truman during that tense standoff in Truman, Arkansas. It took place late last night, and overnight hours that we broke this news. Right now, it's about 3:40 in Jonesboro. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on NEA Report. Let's take one final look at your weather forecast, courtesy of New Wave Wireless, with about 55 degrees outside of Jonesboro right now, and a 40% chance of showers. We're dropping a little bit to a 30% chance as we roll into the evening hours tonight. The low down to 53. Tomorrow's high near 70 with mostly cloudy skies and a gorgeous day. Well, it should be, at least, with winds only about 5 to 10 miles per hour. So we're expecting that on the way tomorrow. Thanks to New Wave for sponsoring our weather. And thanks to everybody else, all of our wonderful sponsors out there for helping us out and keeping us going here on NEA Report. A lot of new audience members joining us over the past few days and over the past week, and we are flattered and honored to be your news source here in Jonesboro and Northeast Arkansas. We hope that we're able to meet expectations. We're always willing to take feedback, so send it to us if you'd like through a message on our Facebook page, or if you want, you can contact us on Twitter. We're on other social media. In fact, if you haven't had a chance to subscribe to us yet, I would love it if you guys went to the YouTube page and subscribed right now. We've been doing a lot of new things on YouTube, so we would love to have you as an audience member there. Tomorrow we're going to continue covering the Walnut Ridge situation. We're also hopefully going to have more from Charles Snapp meeting with the Municipal League, and plenty of other elements to that story too. The coverage will continue, along with full coverage of all news across Northeast Arkansas. We are NEA Report. I'm Stan Morris. Happy to have you in with us.